Sark does it big time in Red River. 49-zip.
This is going to be a fun one, like they always are, but especially after a 49-0 win against OU. This is Rewind with Coach Sark. I'm Mo Galindo here with the head coach at Texas football. How you feeling right now?
Pretty good. No, it was a heck of a game. I loved it for our players, especially the upperclassmen, and then I loved it for our coaches. I loved it for our fans. It was an awesome environment. It's amazing how games can go a certain way, and the way that one went, it was almost like a movie script or something.
Well, it's awesome because you talked about writing the script, making the movie. McConaughey's on hand, and he said that the message to the guys that he talked to was this was a leave no doubt game, and you left no doubt with your performance in this one.
Well, we felt like a year ago we let one get away. We had played really well in the first half, and then the game kind of slipped and got away from us. And we just didn't want that to happen again. Our guys were really dialed into the plan, really focused on what they needed to do. And then not only executing early, but executing for 4 quarters was going to be the key.
Well, you mentioned early. Everybody was there early for that 11 a.m. kick. Let's get into the highlights. And great to have Quinn Ewers back as well. He gets the start, and he looked sharp early on.
Yeah, he did. It was good for Quinn to get back out there and get going. Obviously, from a run game perspective, we felt like, we needed to make sure we had enough run game and not just Quinn feeling like he had to go out there and do it on his own. And we didn't really know going into the game what OU was going to play defensively. They've kind of been bouncing around with defensive packages, so not the best first drive. They've been a pressure package team. They don't pressure us on third down. They get the stop, and then it allowed us on the sideline kind of regroup and then go play the rest of the game knowing what they were going to be.
Also filling it out on the other side because no Dylan Gabriel for OU.
Yeah, exactly. He had warmed him up, then he didn't come out, and then what they did without him being out there, the Wildcat package kind of came out and took us a minute to adjust to that as well.
But it looked a little different because it was, I guess, a little more traditional in terms of at least there was a quarterback back there with Davis Bevel in this first drive.
Yeah, there was. This was a really nice tackle by Jaron Thompson. I actually thought that was a fumble there that we didn't get credited with. And then as this drive goes on, there's some really good plays. But as we've seen in recent history, people are going for it on fourth down versus us. And we kind of saw it in this drive to start the ball game where people were kind of coming after us early in the game. That kind of forced our hand a little bit.
So Watts with great coverage there. So you get a stop on the opening drive. This drive starts at the 10-yard line. So your offense is about to embark on what was, at this point, the longest scoring drive of the season.
Yeah, I thought the guys were really efficient in this drive. There was some run game, there was some pass game, there was some short pass game. The run after the catch right here by J.T. Sanders. I thought Quinn got into a nice rhythm on this drive where we couldn't really get him into the rhythm to start the game. He got into the rhythm in this drive.
And then on a 1st and 10 snap, Ewers feel a little pressure from the backside. This is the ball that's almost intercepted, but he responds really nicely from it.
Yeah, it was almost a heck of a play by their kid. Nice job of kind of reading Quinn's eyes. But again, he bounces right back. The run game, I thought, showed up. You're seeing a hat on a hat. I thought our runners were really physical. I thought the offensive line controlled the line of scrimmage for the most part in the ball game, and it allowed us to kind of get vertical runs. And what we did was winning on 1st and 2nd down in this game put us in 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. Some really manageable third downs, which inevitably we ended up 10 of 15 on 3rd down in the game.
And there's Quinn to Jordan Whittington, a lot of big plays as well in the pass game.
Yeah, there was. I thought they were very cognizant of Xavier and trying to stay on top and not letting Worthy get behind him, and that opened up a lot of the intermediate range of the field for Jordan and J.T. Sanders to make explosive plays.
And back-to-back runs here where Bijan and Rowe, they want all that action. It's physical.
They were both really physical. I thought Roschon was exceptionally physical in this game. A couple of really physical runs, running through arm tackles. And in the end, man, when you can run the ball in the red area, it opens things up on the perimeter. Jordan Whittington, you're going to see it time and time again, him blocking on the perimeter. And then when you get down here, 1st and goal, You got to be able to run the ball when they know you're going to run it. And we were able to do that Saturday.
DKR would have said, dance with who brung you. And there's Bijan, and your guys are on the board.
Yeah. Nice job there, kind of in the interior line blocking, and Bijan always kind of can make you right.
So this is the second drive for OU. After having Neville out there for most of the first drive, it's almost exclusively with the tight end at quarterback with this Wildcat look.
Yeah, the Wildcat showed up. And again, credit to our guys trying to get aligned initially. It was the first time we had kind of seen it. It took us a minute to get there. They kind of popped a couple runs on us, and then we really started to settle down as the game went on against it.
How much were you expecting this with the uncertainty around Gabriel?
Well, we practiced for it, but you never know. It's one thing to say they're going to be in Wildcat. You don't know what formation and what plays they're going to run. That's always the challenge when it comes to Wildcat. They had a couple unique things going when they got to it. And what it was able to do, they kind of controlled the ball, controlled the clock a little bit. And this is what I was talking about earlier, then the fourth down opportunities it was creating for them to go for it, which they were taking advantage of early on.
So they got that conversion, but here's Coburn, who had a great game up front.
Yeah, really good game. I thought the interior defensive line really played well in this game again. We're going to see here in a little bit a fourth down stop that they make. Here it is again, kind of the third down, short passing game that inevitably puts them into the fourth down where they end up faking a field goal. This is a heck of a play by DeMarvion Overshown to negate the touchdown. It was really close on did he make it or not.
Yeah.
But then, we get them to, the second down and short. We get a stop there. It goes to third and short. We get a stop right here on third and short on the quarterback pull. And then it gets them all the way to fourth down. It's a really good play by Moro Ojimo and then T'Vondre Sweat of getting the stop. And then, complimentary football. We get a stop right here on fourth down. It's a huge play for us, taking points off the board. And then the offense coming on the field and driving the length of the field again.
Yeah, so you went from the 10-yard line. That was the longest drive of the season. Now you go from the 8, and this becomes the longest drive of the season.
Yeah, really impressive. Really physical run right there to start it off with Roschon on 3rd and 1. And then we get to the play-action pass game. And again, finding Whittington in kind of that intermediate range on the field. As Xavier's demanding the double coverage, now Whittington can go to work in the middle of the field.
Seems like that's his bread and butter.
He's really good there. Excellent job on the screen. And what I love, Roschon doesn't get enough credit for his speed, man. He's running away from these guys. This is nice execution offensively, getting Christian Jones and Jake Major out on the perimeter. And guess who's blocking on the perimeter again? Jordan Whittington. Kind of time and time again.
And we'll see his best coming up when he paves the way for Keelan Robinson a little bit later in this game. Here you got a 1st and 10, and Bijan picking up a physical couple of yards.
A little bit of an RPO here. We come back to the same play again, and now Quinn finds Keelan on the perimeter. Keelan Robinson, kind of an unsung hero. Again, just what he does for us. It seems like week in and week out, he's finding these plays on the perimeter.
And then on the money to Worthy.
Yep, RPO. We finally got a one-on-one matchup with Xavier. Got him out of the double coverage look in the low red, and he's able to make him pay with the touchdown catch.
So 92 yards, longest drive of the year. You talk about ball control, right? And maybe what Oklahoma wants to do, it's almost defeating when you can't make stops, right? So if you keep allowing points, it really doesn't matter how secure you are with the football. It ain't going to work.
I love this. I love our just pursuit to the ball. Jade kind of starts it, and then there's DJ, there's Jet Bush, and there's a lot of guys flying to the football. I thought that was a common theme for our defense here on Saturday.
And then, obviously, not feeling comfortable with the pocket. Barron is there to break that one up and get the stop and come back on offense. Ewers with some time, and once again, Jay Witt.
Yep, kind of that same area of the field, that intermediate 18 to 22 yards right there. Jay Witt kind of on the crossing route. And then we get back to the running game. And the running game, what I loved about it, it wasn't big little. It was just very consistent. You saw a lot of 5, 6, 7, 8-yard runs, which in turn sets up, 2nd and 6, 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3. Xavier probably loved to have that one back, unable to make the play there. Puts us in the 3rd down, which we convert. And then here's Quinn. What I love, this is unbelievable arm angle throw and a great catch by Bijan. This guy, He'll argue with me till the day is long that he's got the best hands on the team and prove it to me.
Yeah, if he makes plays like that, that argument gets more sound. And here is Gunnar Helm getting into the mix.
Yeah, I was talking to Gunnar about this yesterday. Just about everybody's got a role. You never know when your number's called, and Gunnar took advantage of it.
Yeah, a couple catches for him. Bijan almost breaks that one.
Close. Really tripped over Gunnar's feet. Really didn't get tackled. We came right back to the same play again. And I thought the tempo was good for us Saturday of kind of speeding things up when we did. Created some explosive plays for us.
1st and 10, yours, rolling, back in the pocket. Decides to dump it to Sanders.
Yeah, it was good here. This is really a second read on the play. We were trying to get Roshan up the sideline, didn't get it. Checks the ball down to J.T. Sanders. He didn't force it. And then we get the perimeter play. Great block by Xavier Worthy. Great block by Jordan Whittington. Keelan gets in the end zone. I love this play because those guys are pass receivers, right? They want to catch touchdowns.
Yeah.
But I think it talks to the maturity of our team, the selflessness of our team, that they're willing to do more for one another.
But that's not the exception, right? Like, we see that consistently on film with those guys unselfish, wanting to pave the way for the playmakers. And they are playmakers as well. You come back, though, and you got to get stops, and you continue to do it. 21-0 right here, and you make the stops on OU.
Yeah, we kept trying to impress upon the guys that, hey, they're in this Wildcat. Sooner or later, in this Wildcat, the pass is going to come.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know when. We didn't know how. We always say, keep your eyes on your luggage, all right? And then just make sure if and or when that pass comes, we're disciplined with what we need to be, and our eyes are where we're supposed to be, and we're going to be the ones that go make the play. And sure enough, right here, Jahdae Barron, there's the Wildcat pop pass, and Jahdae with the interception to create another big turnover in the red area. We had a 4th down stop in the red area. We get an interception in the red area, and then we come right back to putting the ball on the ground and run physical.
And you've said it's about to come. It's about to happen, right? With the takeaways, and we saw that come to fruition in this game. More carries for Bijan, and again, that consistency, just going positive. 7 yards on that run. 3rd and 11 here. We're going to see Quinn scramble.
Yeah, kind of a part of his game that goes a little unnoticed. He's probably a better athlete than people give him credit for. Great awareness of where the sticks were to get the 1st down to extend the drive.
Later in that drive, going back to the run game, and every run was just finished with physicality.
Yeah, it really was. I thought the guys ran physical all day. Another good job by Quinn on 3rd down, converting the drive. Gunnar Helm kind of extending the drive. Again, but it's 3rd and 4. It's easier to convert. And then taking the shot here in the red area to J.T. Sanders up the seam.
It's not a big window.
It's a heck of a throw, great catch, and that's what JT can do. He's such a big body with great hands that defenders just kind of can fall off him, and he's becoming a really good red zone weapon for us.
Now OU wants to take a shot. Deshaun Jameson, kind of like what he did against West Virginia with the breakup. Great patience here for the interception.
Yeah, just very calm. There was no panic in him with the ball in the air and the deep ball, and just goes up and makes his play.
Okay, what's the message now? 28-0, kind of been here before in this game. What's the message?
Well, just play the way we're capable of playing. We wanted to go win the 3rd quarter. We were going to worry about the 4th quarter when it came. We wanted to go win the 3rd quarter. I thought the physicality that our defense played with this first drive, the first 2 plays, to me was easy to see that, hey, we were going to come out. We were ready to play the second half of this ball game.
And Sweat getting in the backfield there. We saw a big hit from Jalen Ford. 4th and 2, they go for it, and you're ready.
Yeah, all over it. Just everybody being disciplined where they were supposed to be. 3 straight plays, 3 physical plays, 3 disciplined plays by our guys to create the short field and give us an opportunity to go to work on offense.
And Cook he wants to destroy guys this year. It's just really fun to watch. You get off the field talking about now following up with the offense and making it mean something. Here's Bijan for 6 yards, and then you go back to Bijan. Pops is watching on and gets another 6-yard gain.
Yeah, just like I said, the run game was so consistent Saturday. The line of scrimmage was clean. You didn't see a lot of OU defenders in the backfield. We go to take the shot right here. When you run the ball, you can take the shot. I probably called this play too close. I know that sounds crazy to say. We probably needed a little bit more room for that to happen. Just missing Xavier out of the back of the end zone.
But just missed. That was almost beautiful. And Bijan, like he's on skis, going downhill, shifting through the moguls. That's nice. And then 3rd and 3, Roshan moving everybody, including the chains.
Yeah, another physical run. This is probably the one throw Quinn would love to have back from Saturday. Just misses Jordan for the touchdown. Great execution. Great job him kind of selling the block and working up the sideline just off the fingertips. That's probably the one throw Quinn would love to have back. Outside of this third down pass, which was clearly human error, the ball slipped out of his hand. And,
he's trying to get rid of it,
he's trying to throw it away. We were trying to argue a little bit that maybe the ball hit the wire of the camera. That could have been blown dead. We didn't. Not so fortunate. So he's going to have to live with that one.
Yeah, you can try to blame ABC on that one. And defense, though, right? Interception, sudden change, comes back with the 3-and-out here.
And again, what I like about it is they're back to the Wildcat. We're playing it much better, right? We settled down. I thought the coaches did a great job at halftime of just settling guys down on how we were going to play these plays and clearly kind of put it to bed with our ability to play the Wildcat there in the second half.
Yeah, they kept going for it, and your guys were better and better against it as the game went on. So you get the 3-and-out, offense back to work. And even a play like this where it looked like it wasn't going anywhere, you guys want to move everything forward.
Yeah, we didn't block this one great, but we end up fixing it here a little later in the half. I love this Quinn stepping up in the pocket, finding JT kind of a secondary receiver, and a really strong catch by JT Sanders there.
And then back to the run game, and it's Rowe for a handful of yards.
Yep. We knew how we wanted the game to go. We had to make sure that we were running the ball well so that we could play action pass, which again continued to pay dividends for us down the field.
And then Jay Wood, awesome game all around for him.
Yeah, it really was. I was happy for him. He's been a couple of tough losses in this game, so to come out on top for all of our upperclassmen, I thought was a really cool moment.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. Back to the ground game, Roshan with 3 more. So now consistent, right? You've got the lead you want. Not trying to turn it over, as is always the case, and just methodically moving downfield. Worthy making a nice, strong catch.
Yeah, again, it was tough. There's a lot of attention on number 8 Saturday to where he was. And then you just keep chopping away at the run game. Sooner or later it pops, and there it is right there for Bijan, kind of working up the left side. Great blocking on the perimeter by the tight end, the tackle to spring him free.
35-0. Safe to say there's no letdown from here on?
No, there really wasn't. You can see it right there. They come right out. The defense, again, just owning the Wildcat. All right, they go back to the quarterback. Great job by DeMarvion getting his hand on this ball, knocking it down. It was just all-around effort, man. Complete game, offense, defense, special teams. Everybody was dialed into what they needed to do. We're all over that right there. Jalen Ford, really tight coverage. So just proud of the guys from an execution standpoint.
Here's Worthy getting out, taking a hit, but he keeps going.
Yeah, and you know what I was proud of our guys? There was a lot of opportunities where our players didn't talk back. They didn't retaliate. They were focused on what they needed to do. You've heard me, Lowell, time and time again say, be enamored with us. Be enamored with what we are doing. It's not about the opponent. And I thought our guys had that frame of mind and that focus on Saturday.
Well, there's so much growth on this team that's undeniable, from the physical standpoint to the emotional maturity as well. We just go back to compare it to this game a year ago. I mean, there was no letdown. These guys were locked in from start to finish.
They really were. And again, number 0, good one-on-one route win. Great throw by Quinn, putting it where only he could go get it. And just good execution all the way around, man. We came to play the third quarter, which is what we wanted to do.
How about another 3-and-out? Texas defense coming up with that. Keaton Crawford making a stop.
Yeah, love that for Keaton at defense. He's been doing so much for us on special teams. Him showing up on defense was big. You're seeing some new faces. You're seeing Jet Bush. You're seeing Justice Finkley. You're seeing some other guys out there making plays. And then, Byron Murphy getting his first sack of the year, which is long overdue. He's been doing a great job rushing the passer. It finally paid off for him right there getting the sack.
3 sacks for the Texas defense. I think it was 11 tackles for loss as well. You had the interceptions, of course. So the Texas defense has just been on it all season long. And there's Keelan Robinson, man. We talk about it all the time, right? He's a little dude, but physical.
He really is. And, it's unfortunate. We've got a great backfield. Bijan, Roshan, Keelan. We're going to see Jonathan Brooks here in a minute. We're going to see Jaden Blue in a minute. And all these guys, Coach Choice has done a great job with them. All these guys, when they got their opportunity Saturday, they were running hard. They were running physical.
Yeah, Jonathan Brooks is the number 4 guy in your running back room. You've got a loaded room.
Yeah, and he played really well. Again, we were trying to get him as many carries as we could. It paid off for him right here, kind of getting the pay dirt. And again, there's Brendan Thompson blocking downfield. There's a backup wide receiver doing his thing for the running game down the field.
A guy that's known for his speed as well, right?
Exactly.
Like that you wouldn't immediately associate with getting after it. And here is your defense getting after it. That's good to see with T'Vondre Sweat in the backfield once again, and they try to get the perimeter, and everybody's getting involved there.
Yeah, you guys just flying to the ball, and that's got to be our calling card, right? Our brand of football has got to be about effort, physicality, our energy, the discipline to do it right, time and time again. And again, just pushing the pocket, pressuring the quarterback, and Justice Finkley getting his first career sack right there.
And Coburn playing his butt off deep into this game. So now 9.5 minutes left. Let's get that clock down. Quinn's all smiles on the sideline. At this point in time, too, right? Still motivation to keep that at 0 on the scoreboard?
For sure. You know, there was a lot. I think that without question, the coaches, the team wanted to make sure it was a 0. You saw Hudson Carr get in there. We wanted to get him healthy, but I wanted to make sure he got into the game. Charles Wright's in there now. Jaden Blue's running the ball, running well. Which was good for him. And again, we're trying to work the clock. We respect the game. This was a tough decision. Do you go for it? Do you kick a field goal? I hate it for Bert Auburn. He's been on such a hot streak. He misses the kick. But in the end, the defense was able to go out and get one more stop to make sure that they couldn't go score.
And the physicality continues. T'Vondre Sweat also playing his rear end off late into this game. And then on a 3rd and 4, forcing the incompletion. And that would lead to this, the largest win for Texas against OU. I love seeing your smiles, man. I love seeing the smiles on all the guys' faces, but you can tell this also really means something for you to be able to celebrate with your team. I know it's not about you, but to see you and all the work that you've put in, the understanding of the expectations here, right? Like you have not run and hid from any of that. You've directed everything head on. And to see you smile, man, that was that was really cool.
Well, I had a lot of fun. You know, I really appreciate our players. You know, they put a lot into it. I don't take it lightly for how hard they work and how demanding we are of them on and off the field. I loved it for our coaches, the fact that they've put in so much work into this thing, and I loved it for our fans. I mean, what a cool moment there was not one person left their seat in that end of the field. And so that opportunity to go celebrate with everybody, because we've all been chopping wood, right? Yeah. Week in and week out, regardless of the result from the week before, we've been chopping wood at this thing. So to have that moment was special. It was great. That golden hat, I felt like deserved to be back here in Austin last year. Yeah. We dropped the ball. So to get it back in Austin where it belongs this year was huge for us.
So Marvion Overshawn talked about it after the game, what it means for this group of seniors, some that have been here a while, to get a taste of this and the golden hat as a freshman, and then for a long time see it go back to Norman. What does it mean for those guys?
Well, they've been through a lot. You know, and anytime you have coaching changes, you know, whether it's the head coach, position coaches, new philosophies, new schemes, new mantras, all those things, and then knowing how much this rivalry means to the players here, the former players, the current players, the coaches, our fan base, our donors, the state of Texas. This is a huge, huge rivalry, and they all want to win. You know, every player wants to win, and so when you don't win it a few years in a row, and then you get that opportunity to kind of hoist the trophy, to put the hat on, I think it means more to our players probably than sometimes they can even show it. Although they showed it a lot Saturday, they were enjoying it. That's a big deal because there's a lot of pride in our program, and not just on our current team, but for years and years before us. So that was a big moment.
We've talked about this before off air, how cool it is that you have doubled down on trust with the guys on your leadership council that were part of, you know, the key components of the team that went 5-7 last season. And instead of looking for new guys, you trusted those ones. You saw something in them to make you believe that they could be part of the turnaround, and they showed you that they are capable of it.
Oh, they're more than capable of that. You know, we've got tremendous leadership on this team, and I think so much what happens is you know, we've got a responsibility to recruit because we have to keep building this program for years. You know, we don't want to be a one-hit wonder. We want this thing to withstand the test of time. But as you recruit, sometimes the attention can go to a lot of those new faces that are coming into your program. And programs are really built on that foundation, and then the development within your program. And I think our seniors and our older players in our program have bought into what we're doing, and they're showing the way for these younger players in our program of how to do it, how to go about their business. So we're setting ourselves up not just for the short term, but for the long term. But we can't do it without the veteran leadership that we have. And I give all the credit in the world to those guys that are doing it, the DeMarvion Overshones, the Keandre Coburns, the Anthony Cooks, the Jordan Whittingtons, the Roshan Johnsons. Those are the guys that are laying an unbelievable foundation for this program for years to come.
And then you bring in a guy like Quinn, and it seems like he's been here forever, part of this culture.
Right.
Just gets it, understands what the expectations are and how you go about business. It's fun times right now in Austin, Texas. 49-0 Texas. We'll talk about Quinn Ewers and what he did at quarterback coming up with our offensive breakdowns, and then we'll go around the rest of the Big 12 and set the stage for another early kick on Saturday with Iowa State coming to the ATX. The Texas football offensive player of the game, no-brainer. Going back to the quarterback spot, this time though it's Quinn Ewers. Makes his Red River debut going 21-31, 289 yards and 4 touchdowns. That makes him the Big 12 newcomer of the week as well. All right, Coach, let's get into the offensive breakdowns. Great performance for the offense all the way around. One of the best games that we've seen from Jordan Whittington since stepping on campus, and he does it with the hands, and we'll see the block in just a little bit. How about this catch, though?
Yeah, before the catch was the route. It was a heck of a route, but fully extended, all hands catch. You can't catch that ball trying to use your body. This guy is one of our emotional leaders on the team. And not only on offense, he's a warrior on special teams, and then he does it on the perimeter with his blocking, the physicality. He does so much for us, and I think, we lost him in this game a year ago. Yeah. This was when he got injured, and so for him to have the impact that he's having on our team right now, I know is really gratifying for him, but he's greatly appreciated on our end.
Having a great season. You can tell with plays like that, though, just wants to win. Quarterback play. Hey, Hudson deserves all the credit in the world to kind of right this ship when Quinn went down. But to see Quinn come back and make plays, you realize he's special at quarterback as well. And you said this is part of the game he hasn't really shown, the scrambling ability.
Yeah, and he has this ability in him. I think one thing Quinn does a really good job of is keeping his eyes down the field. And there's a feel to this of having your eyes downfield, and then when the pocket breaks down, and there's that void in the defense to go get it, and then you almost see him there a couple times peek at the sticks, knowing, hey, I'm not trying to go run and get the touchdown. I just want to get the first down and keep the drive extended.
And then he makes plays that just leaves the speechless. So that throw.
Very tight window throw. Just kind of feathers this throw in there right over the top of the defender, but in between the next two defenders into a great target. JT Sanders is having a great year for us right now, into a great window, and it's all just such a natural feel for Quinn to make those throws.
Big 12 newcomer of the week, that award for Quinn this week off that performance. Going back to his process and getting on the field, when did you know it was time? How did you know he was ready?
Well, it was tough, because anytime you're injured and you're trying to find your way back, again, I said it from day one when he did get injured, it was going to be day to day, because it was going to be about how his body felt, how he could progress back, but also how he was absorbing the offense as he was not being able to go. And I thought he stayed engaged as best he could when you're not practicing full speed all the time. And I really took it through the week. I went through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I let Thursday's practice play itself out. Both he and Hudson both practiced. And then it was Thursday afternoon. I decided, okay, let's go with Quinn. I felt like he was ready to go. And that was to take nothing away from Hudson, who's not 100% either. He's just been battling through it. So credit to both those two guys for what they've given to this program to get us to this point in the season.
Yeah, got some tough dudes in that quarterback room.
We do.
Had some really tough dudes in the running back room as well. Let's go into the performance of Rowe and Bijan. Here's the catch by Rowe. And you mentioned during the highlights the speed he shows.
Yeah, he shows great speed. He's got such a good feel. He's got such a high football IQ. And then you see the separation, the speed, and his ability to get down the sideline. Just kind of runs out of room, or he might run away from him. So the versatility, the hands, the speed, the physicality, these guys possess is something that, definitely should be admired. They really do provide it to us.
Yeah, this is a special group at running back right now. And they're so versatile, right? They're not just the old school carry the ball running backs. I mean, you got a guy that can make a catch like this.
No, I mean, just think about this. The 2 plays you're showing for our running backs on the highlights are 2 catches.
Yeah.
One's on a screen, one's on a freaking back shoulder, pirouette, toe tap on the sidelines. Where do you see running backs doing that? So we're obviously very fortunate. We're blessed with great players at that position. But as I say all the time, they're better people.
Yeah.
And they provide so much to our team for our culture that we've built, and a lot of it starts in that running back room.
I thought it was really unique this week that we are in this new era of college football with all the stuff with NIL, right? Quinn's got a big deal with his NFT stuff coming out, like the week of the game. Bijan, big deal with his mustard sin. Like at the State Fair, there's a lot of stuff that was happening for these guys, which is great, away from the field. And I think some people had natural questions like, okay, is that stuff going to be too big? Does it take them out of their moment, right? What they're supposed to do on the field? And it doesn't seem like that stuff affected those guys at all on the field.
Well, I think one thing that we've tried to impress upon them is this. We've got hours dedicated to football.
Mm-hmm.
They've got hours dedicated to school. Then they have hours dedicated to their personal, their social life, whatever that they want to do in that arena. I don't want one-dimensional players on our team. I want balanced human beings. They're good at football. They love football. They do great in school. There's a value in the degree from the University of Texas. Then there's their personal time. I'd much rather them be being productive in their personal life and doing things that they can benefit from to create value for themselves than doing something else that we all know they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
So if that's where they're spending their time and they're doing that, they're being productive, they're learning the value of business and money and things of that nature, man, that's great for them too. So I think that this just showing the maturity of the players in our program of how they're handling those things. They're not taking away from football.
No.
They're not taking away from school. They're doing it in their personal time, and they're doing something productive, which I think is great.
Yeah, great for the program as a whole to say we produce opportunities.
That's right.
On the field, away from the field as well. Opportunities for the defense and special teams. Let's get into that now. We're going to start with this fake field goal. And Overshone tracks this one down, prevents the touchdown, and almost gets the stop.
He really does. And then you see the athleticism, the burst, the tackle. Really, really great play right there. And it's bang, bang. It's close. And they only needed 2 yards. And just see the play by Overshone right there to close on it and give us another opportunity to get the stop, which in turn right here forces the 4th down. Great play by Travondre Sweat getting the penetration, but also by Ojimo of knocking back 56 to close the hole. Great job by all those guys. You see Anthony Cook getting there. You see Tucker Dorsey getting in there. So all in all, great team defense on Saturday.
Yeah, getting stops on 4th down, getting the takeaways, a couple of those in the red zone as well, including that one from Sweat. So excellent performance by the Texas defense. Getting after the quarterback as well. Coming into this game, according to Pro Football Focus, you guys were second with quarterback pressures in all of Power 5. And we saw the pressure get home in this game 3 times.
Yeah, we did. I think, like I've said all along, when you can pressure the quarterback or sack the quarterback, it starts with coverage. And this play is a prime example. It's great coverage in the back end. Now we're able to go close on the quarterback and go finish on the quarterback on a critical 4th down stop.
And then you got the sack from Murphy.
Yep. Again, it started in the back end. It's a 4-man rush. Good coverage in the back end. Murphy gets the one-on-one, able to get the quarterback on the ground. So as much as we've been affecting the quarterback, it's been really good the last couple weeks to really start to get the quarterback on the ground. And we're starting to reap the benefits of the sacks, creating long yardage situations for the opponent.
And then the takeaways, right? You've actually done a good job forcing the ball out.
Yes.
It's taken some weird bounces the past few weeks. Getting the DBs close. It hits home here twice with Barron and Jamison.
Yeah, this was a nice play which we touched on earlier. The Wildcat pop pass, good discipline by Jade. And then you got to go make the play on the ball. At the end of the day, it's having the ball skills to go make those plays. Nice job by Jade. Turnover in the red zone. In our world, we count that as a 7-point turnover, right? You take points off the board and you give possession back to the offense. Big-time play right there.
And then here's Deshaun Jamison right before the end of the first half.
Yeah, I love this for DJ because, there's no panic. He stays very calm. It's 2 weeks in a row on deep balls. He times his jump really well. Last week he knocks it down with his off arm. This week he goes up and makes the catch and makes the play on the ball to create the turnover. We've been saying all along to the defense, the dam is going to break when it comes to turnovers. And I think the dam has broken. I think we're going to start to see an onslaught on the football from our defense now the second half of the season.
And how about PK, man? Doesn't say a lot, right? He's not a me guy, but to see him coordinate this defense with a lot of the same personnel, right. Complete turnaround this year.
Yeah, fired up for PK, the defensive staff. Like everybody, growth is so important and trust is so important. And I think trust equals time plus consistency. And it's taken some time for the defensive coaches and the players to really mesh. But there's been a level of consistency from our coaching staff that the players have bought into, and then the belief in the scheme, and then going out and executing and playing our style, our brand of football, which is the most important part.
Doesn't get better than zero. Does not get better than putting that zero on the board. We'll talk a little more Texas defense coming up. You're going to hear from some of the Longhorns standouts on that side of the ball, and also get ready for Iowa State. The defensive player of the game for Texas, well, you could just name everybody. I mean, you just shut out the Oklahoma Sooners. We had to pick one. We went with Jahdae Barron. 6 tackles. Most importantly, this INT. Texas was looking for takeaways. They finally got one here with Barron. His second interception of the season, and active to say the least. A 49-0 win for the Longhorns. That is their biggest margin of victory ever against OU, and their largest against a Power 5 opponent since 2007. After the game, Alex Loeb caught up with 2 of those defensive standouts, DeMarvion Overshown and Anthony Cook.
I'm just so proud of this team, so proud of this defense, for all the hard work we do. I can't say I couldn't want anything better than this.
What was the key out there today defensively, DeMarvion?
Just play hard through 4 quarters. We knew, we came in like this going to be a 4-quarter fight, and we can't let up. So it really just step on their throats. We came in at halftime, adjusted to the Wildcat, and we know once they, was going for it on 4th down after we done stopped them 3 times in a row at Wildcat that, we just had to go for the kill then.
That's a good point. How much of a surprise was that when they put that tight end back there at quarterback?
We kind of knew something was going up with number 8 with not playing quarterback, and number 9 being a former quarterback. We're like, they're gonna have to open up their offense and get a QB some runs. So we were expecting Wildcat, even though we didn't really prepare for it. But we, in the back of our minds, we knew like they were gonna come out and try something different. And we was able to shut it down in the second half. And like we said, they didn't have no other option after that.
Anthony, you're having a career year. What's been the key to your success?
Honestly, man, just putting God first. It started with that, putting God first, working extremely hard, and taking advantage, of every opportunity, when I can. And like I said, man, my teammates make my job so much easier. This guy right here make my job so much easier to come down and make tackles and not even have to tackle some games. Him and Jay Ford, So I'm just proud of this team. Let his defense.
The Woodstar winning moment is Texas winning against OU in the most dominating fashion that they ever have. 49-0 win, biggest margin of victory ever for Texas over OU. Also, the first time OU has been shut out since 1998. Coach, next up on the schedule, we got Iowa State coming to town, and we know, right, the next one is the most important one. This is an Iowa State team, 3 straight losses, but by a combined 11 total points against really good competition. What do you see?
Well, I see a very well-coached team. Coach Campbell does a great job, and he's been doing it for years there. Tremendous defensive football team. They know their scheme. They play it well. Every ball game is tight, a kick here, a kick there, and you're talking about a potentially undefeated football team coming into DKR Saturday. So we've got our work cut out for us. Our expectation is DKR is going to be rocking.
Yeah.
I'm so fired up for our fans. It's becoming the home field advantage that I was always hoping for. It's an intimidating place to come and play, and looking forward to all of you being there, cranking it up at 11 a.m. Saturday at DKR, and looking forward to our team going out and putting forth another really good performance.
And what have you seen so far in terms of turning the page and the focus now being on this group?
Well, I like the maturity of our team. I think they enjoyed that win Saturday, and we all should have. We should have. But then we come back and we come right back to work on Monday. We're dialed in. We've got the right mental intensity, the right focus. It's all about our preparation and the way we go to work in meetings and in practice and in physical recovery of our body so that we can put our best foot forward. And I think we've got the right maturity on our team to go do it again. But it's going to take that whole week of work to make it happen.
Coach, congratulations on the win against OU. Happy for you and your entire program.
Thanks, man.
Looking forward to another edition of Rewind coming up next week right here on LHN.